Koreans surely never expected to be raided by ICE. Check this out.
A lot of Asian Americans thought that they were exempt from the ICE raids, and they are quickly finding out that that is not the case.
And this has come as quite a shock to South Korea right now because Koreans are usually not the target of ICE raids.
Korea is not used to being targeted like this, so I'm very annoying as Korean. What do you guys think about this? Here's the thing. This was my first job in US. Here, I worked as an interpreter, and I cannot believe this is happening at the place where I started my career. The US was literally begging Korea for more investment, and now they are arresting hundreds of South Korean business travelers who came here to help build American infrastructure.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is Zatkuna S. If you're new here, hi, welcome. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, like, comment, and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section about South Koreans being shocked that they got raided. And this is not even me trying to laugh at the situation that, oh, finally, y'all saw you were raided. It's the fact that they sided with immigrants being deported. They supported DJT. They were so sure they were making the right decision, and now they are shocked that they got raided.
I'll say this, right? I'm a nobody. But it's like I've been seeing so many people asking Asian creators to speak up about the whole riots in LA and all these deportation things. This is something that a lot of people don't understand. Asian people, we support the country. We support the betterment of the country. We support that. So what is there to say? What is there to say? We support the deportations of illegals. It is honestly tiring, because here's the thing. We want the country to be better. We want the country to be better. We want the country to, if you did it legally, if you stand in line, if you paid the price, right? You paid the money and all that, you did all the process, the paperwork, all the stuff, which usually most Asian people do. Why would we care about someone jumping in line, crossing the border, and all this stuff? Why should we, be happy about that? We're not really. This is the thing where we're not really dependent. Asian people aren't really dependent on migrant labor, right? Not like other people. We're not really dependent on migrant labor. So we're not gonna cry that the U.S. is pretty much backing what they promised. The U.S. promised, or this presidency promised, that they would deport illegal immigrants. They're doing that. Why are you crying? Why are you crying about it? This is the thing where, you see it, like these immigrants are waving the flags of other countries, burning down the flag of the U.S., and then you think Asian people want to support that? No, they want to stay away from that. They don't want to be grouped in with these people. That's the thing. Asian people want to, focus on themselves and their community and their country. They don't want to be grouped in with these people. So really, stop asking Asian influencers to speak up about it, because you won't like what they say. You won't like what they say. So really, it's better off that they do the content that they're doing, instead of, say things you don't like. Because here's the thing. Asian people don't want to focus on the negativity and, say what they're really thinking. Deport, right? Deport illegal immigrants.
Because Koreans are usually not the target of ICE raids.
What do you mean by that?
And this has come as quite a shock to South Korea right now because Koreans are usually not the target of ICE raids.
I don't think this young lady meant any harm by what she said. I don't even think she consciously meant it, but unconsciously, I feel like Asian people think they're not going to be targeted by these type of things because they're doing what they're supposed to do. That's what a lot of people think that come to this country. They think they can do what they want to do, what they're supposed to do, and they won't get in trouble. But that's not the case. If they're coming for Latino people, right, and they're going this hard, and they're coming for, black immigrants as well, you think they're not coming for Asian immigrants? They was trying to tell y'all. They was trying to tell y'all a couple months ago. Oh, yeah, Asian people, they come for y'all too. Y'all was like, oh no, we're not getting involved, blah, blah, blah. Y'all wasn't saying a damn thing. Y'all had a lot to say about, Sierra on Love Island, as y'all should, saying that slur. But when it comes to people getting, detained and sent back to where they come from or whatever, y'all don't care about that. And these people were here on visas. So They don't give a fuck. They're trying to do any tactic they can to get some money. If they're going to get money out of it, they're going to do it. They're going to do some type of negotiation. They're going to get more money out of the South Korean, leader that was here. He was here, and they were negotiating plans. And Trump did this weeks later. It's a power move. And y'all think y'all not going to be affected by it. There's no model minority. White people care about white people. And if they don't care about that, they care about money. They care about green. And y'all need to realize that.
To South Korea right now because Koreans are usually not the target of ICE raids.
Yeah, I stopped listening after you said that. Because y'all really thought, oh, you were one of the good ones. You thought a lot of you East Asian, because you had pale skin, y'all were safe. And y'all thought it was only exclusively for the Latino, the brown skin folk. I really hope this is a wake-up call for a good chunk of the Asian community in the USA, because they're coming after everybody. Black folk for years have been saying, hey, you're in danger too. The Latino community have been saying this for years, y'all in danger. Heck, I'm pretty sure a good chunk of Asian American friends have told y'all, hey, they're coming after everybody. I really, really hope this is a wake-up call for everybody, for every minority out there who doesn't realize who votes for Trump, who vote Republican. They're coming after you too. And all these raids, it's all because they're afraid of becoming the minority. White people are afraid to become the minority. And that's why they're going after everybody. And they are willing to ruin their livelihoods, their local economies, just to maintain white supremacy.
A lot of Asian Americans thought that they were exempt from the ICE raids, and they are quickly finding out that that is not the case. Okay, so if you have not heard, a Hyundai plant in Georgia was raided, and a number of South Korean nationals were detained. Now, Hyundai is actually a South Korean car. They are a South Korean car manufacturer, and they were opening new plants in Georgia, and they had sent a number of South Koreans here to help get everything, flowing. And they did have, some of them obviously had visas. Now they're saying they are taking their people back, and there is going to be a pause on this Hyundai plant. Now, mind you, it's not just South Koreans that work there. It's Americans too. And now that plant might not run anymore. They might say, forget the United States, since y'all are detaining our people. Mind you, a white woman who is running for a state representative in a neighboring county actually bragged about making phone calls to ICE about potential illegal workers at the Hyundai plant. And other people who worked at the Hyundai plant called on these people. Mind you, you're working for a South Korean company, and you're calling ICE on South Koreans. Nonetheless, I saw somebody say that they looked up the stats, and over 60% of Asians in Georgia voted for Trump. So they voted for this administration who is doing mass deportations, thinking that it was not going to affect their community. And I seen an Asian girl making a video about it, and she literally said Koreans or Asians are normally not the target, when it comes to deportation. Y'all remember what happened when they fought and sued to get rid of affirmative action, and then their acceptance rates decreased tremendously, while acceptance rates of African Americans or black people who they thought were getting in by affirmative action remained the same. They think they are the exception, and every time they find out.
Here's how Korea is reacting to the ICE raids at the Hyundai battery plant in Georgia.
We need construction to cease immediately.
And this raid is the largest single-site operation that DHS has conducted in history. Of the over 450 people arrested right now, around 300 of them are Korean nationals. And this has come as quite a shock to South Korea right now because Koreans are usually not the target of ICE raids. A Korean newspaper even had this cartoon right here where they are depicting Trump as a sort of a bully. It starts off by saying that the US was begging Korea for more investments, and now they're arresting hundreds of South Koreans on a business trip. Literally just last month, South Korea's President Iceraids met with President Trump, and they reaffirmed their alliance as well as business relationships. The US has been pressuring South Korea to invest billions of dollars into the American industry, and they were ramping up this pressure in the past few months. Korea recently agreed to a $350 billion investment into the American economy. And part of that investment was this Hyundai LG factory that was set to open next year. This facility was going to be Georgia's biggest industrial investment in the state's history, and it was supposed to help boost the state's economy. Officials are saying that a lot of these employees were actually South Korean nationals there on a temporary visa for a business trip who have been sent to help finish building electric car battery factories. First of all, South Korea's foreign ministry came out immediately to say that they are expressing concern and regret over Washington's decision to do this, and that this will send a chilling effect to the US in terms of business. I mean, President Trump has vowed to arrest the worst of the worst criminals with Iceraids, so I think Korea is shocked that this happened at one of their biggest factories in the US. I mean, the US is coming out and saying that they did this raid because they think the employees are there illegally or have overstayed their visas, and investigations are still currently ongoing. Now, LG is ordering all of its employees that are on business trips in the US to immediately return to Korea, and they're going to reconsider sending anyone else on business trips to the US right now.
My humble question to you guys is, do you think we're going to look at a situation where we find some white people countries being raided as well? No, because with the Mexicans, with the Latinos, Hispanics, for that, it was not even a shocker when it happened, because black people knew it was going to happen. Black people literally knew it was going to happen, because they were like, y'all realize you ain't, you ain't white, right? So black people knew that was going to happen to the Latino community. Clear and square. For the Asians, some Asians, like the Indians, the Pakistanis, they were taken in the same circle like the Africans, because they are darker skinned. But people like South Korea that know they are extremely loved by white people, themselves, Korean people, they love white people. They praise the ground that they walk on. They knew for sure they're not going anywhere. They knew for sure. And surprise, 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 surprise. But let me tell you, people's reactions are literally sending me in a coma. Because people are like, y'all got to, because people are like, y'all got too comfortable so soon. You must have waited until this term was gone. Just because you voted for this man, it doesn't mean he got your back. They should know this. But they felt so secure